Today I'm going to lead you through a mindfulness art activity. What you're going to need is some paper. The thicker the better, but use what you have. A pencil, watercolors or colored pencils, and a permanent marker if you have it. Go ahead and set all of your materials aside except for that white piece of paper. Lay one hand down on the paper. Notice where on your hand you feel pressure, and also notice how the paper feels under your hand. Windshield wiper your fingers back and forth on the paper and notice how that feels on your skin. What sensations do you feel? Mindfulness is all about being in the present moment, not worrying about all of the things going on in life, but thinking about what's going on in the here and now. Maybe press down hard on your paper and notice how that changes the different points of pressure in your hand. Release that pressure. Now we are going to trace both of our hands on our paper. So think about how you want to space your hands out. You can use a really big piece of paper or a paper about this size. Now that I know where about my hands are going to go, I'm going to start by tracing my first hand here. When I trace my hand, I want to press my pencil up against my skin, my hand. I don't want to have any big bubble hands, right? That's when people take their pencil and go around their fingers, but they don't actually lean that pencil up against their hand. You want your hands to look realistic. Try not to move your hands at all, because when you move your fingers, that's when you get real skinny finger tracings. So you want to keep that finger right where it is, trace all the way down to the wrist. Okay? Now I'm going to switch hands. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because I'm going to be tracing with my non-dominant hand, but this is not too hard if you keep that pencil up against your hand. Lean the pencil up against your hand, and you want to make sure the point of the pencil is going straight up and down. If this is too hard for you, maybe you can have a sibling or someone else at home help you. Okay? It's okay if your tracings look a little bit more wonky than your hands in real life. That's going to happen. All right. So now that we've got our hands down, I want you to think about some different feelings that you're feeling right now. Maybe you're feeling really positive. Maybe you've got some more negative feelings and emotions going on. If you look into our Google Classroom, there is a really great list of emotions along with this project listing. So they're really good to use if you are stuck in sort of simple words: sad, happy, angry, upset. These take you through some different categories with more complex words. I want you to think of, on your first hand, 5 negative feelings that you're having right now. Negative emotions. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil and you're going to write them into each finger. Okay? So I made my list ahead of time. And for this first finger, I'm going to choose my shortest word because that's my shortest finger. Well, the thumb might be the shortest. All right. I will do my second shortest word here. And when I was looking at the list of emotions, this word really stuck out to me, tense. I think a lot of us might be feeling tense right now. So I'm going to continue using the words that I chose from the list, and you can write in lowercase, you can write in uppercase. Oop, I already wrote agitated. Uncertain. So these are all words that I chose to describe how I've been feeling during this time, especially since we've been away from school. Things are uncertain, might be agitated in the house for long periods of time, right? With all of the video conferencing and online learning that's going on, it can be really easy to be shy, right? All right, so now that I've thought about these words over here, I want to now shift my focus to some positive feelings, right? Because like with all things in life, there's a balance. And hopefully you can also pick out some of the more positive things that you're feeling. So one of the things that I chose, let me look again at my words to see what is shorter. One of the words that I chose was healthy. I've been at home, cooking my own meals, eating more healthy than normal. Okay. Inspired. I've been really inspired by seeing all of your awesome artwork. Grateful that I have for everything that I have during this time, right? Some of us may have more than others, but no matter what you have, you should be find some gratefulness, right? Find thankfulness in what you have. Rested. This was one I felt really resonated with me, rested, because definitely been able to get a little bit more sleep than maybe I normally do during the school week. My last word was strengthen. That's a really long word though, so I'm going to just go ahead and shorten that to strong. I feel like it's really important to recognize all of the things that you've learned and been doing differently and how you've been able to change your life to adapt to these times we're living in. And right now, I think all of us are finding strength in our ability to adapt and change and just do what's best for us at this time, right? All right, now that you have got all of your words in here, I want you to go ahead and have some fun now with your hands. I'm going to take my Sharpie and go ahead and trace over my hands, trace over my words, and also start to add in some fun designs on this big hand part. Now, I'm not going to tell you how you have to approach this. I'm going to drop a few examples into the Google Classroom so that you can see what others have done before you, but make it your own, right? So some people like to block off the fingers and then add some designs in here, sort of like a Zentangle structured design. Some people do. Again, make it your own. Once you've added your designs, you can take whatever coloring material you're going to use, whether it's watercolor paints, colored pencils, crayons, whatever you've got. You can use that to color everything in, right? And an added bonus would be coloring in the background if you feel so inspired. There's my word, inspired. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and let you guys get to work. And I will include a picture of my finished project with the resources for this project so that you can see what mine turned out like. All right, guys, I wanted to show you my final painting. I did mine really quickly just to be able to show you, so you can see some areas where the paint bled into other areas because they weren't quite dry. You can use that as a technique to get sort of like a tie-dye or an ombre look to your artwork. However, If you don't want that look, you want to be careful with how much water you're putting on your paper. You can either create a background for this, leave it white, or you can cut these out and glue them onto another background. So maybe like construction paper, or if you really wanted to go all out, you could make a collage and glue these onto it. That's up to you. I'm so excited to see your final artwork, guys. I know that yours are going to be really awesome and you're going to come up with lots of cool ideas. So make sure that you upload those before you press turn in Google Classroom.